So the sequel to Frozen, one of the most successful animated movies of all time, gets a sequel, well, got a sequel like 2 years ago. Let's hope it's decent. Hey guys, welcome back to another review, and today I am reviewing Frozen 2, the much anticipated sequel to the surprisingly highest grossing animated film. Not really worth that title, and I don't really think that movie should have beat Ernest and Celestine at the Best Animated Feature Oscar, which, I should shut up about that because it's irrelevant. Alright, but this movie was the most anticipated sequel for a while besides Avengers Endgame. That was until it came out and everyone just kind of stopped talking about it and there's good reason why. We'll get into that in a second. This movie stars Kristen Bell, Josh Gad, Jonathan Groff, and the one and only, the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem. And this movie was directed by Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee. The two people that directed the first Frozen, and Jennifer Lee wrote Wreck-It Ralph and Zootopia and A Wrinkle in Time. The first one sounded decent. I love Wreck-It Ralph, but alright, we're not talking about that anymore. Alright, this movie is about Elsa, who is kind of being a mopey emo chick. This sound in an enchanted forest calls her literally by like a singing voice. So her, Olaf, Anna, Kristoff, the reindeer go into this enchanted forest to kind of solve this mystery, and then something about their town might be connected to this weird mystery and these weird people inside of it. Terrible plot synopsis, I know, but let's talk about Disney's track record so far. Now, here's the thing. I have not been the biggest fan of Disney or Pixar for a while, until I saw Inside Out. I mean, don't get me wrong, Inside Out, Coco, Soul, amazing movies right there. But Onward was not awful, but it was very Finding Dory I didn't like at all. Incredibles 2 I thought was incredibly disappointing. Ralph Breaks the Internet I thought was just a cheap way of just selling Disney products. The movie was basically just the Emoji Movie with better animation and better jokes and better writing slightly. I do not like Frozen very much. The original Frozen was just graved into my memory. It's shoved down my throat every single time I go to like a supermarket or anything. Thank God I haven't heard the song Let It Go for a while, and I continue to not want to listen to it anymore. Because, I thought it was a decent song until it kept being played everywhere and itched into my brain. Now I have it home memorized. And then Zootopia was, not my favorite. It was good. It was good. Not my favorite, though. Probably biased for it overshadowing The Little Prince. But, that's not really worth getting into anymore. This movie will happily join those because I do not like this one. I do not like this movie. All right, let's talk about the praises. The animation is very cliche for me to say this and very predictable for me to say this, but the animation is not just good, it's like breathtaking. Like the backgrounds look photorealistic. And the characters, once again, look cartoony, which kind of clashes with that a bit. But, who cares? The animation's really good. The movement is fluid. Everything every little speck looks like it's alive. It's really, really good. What about the voice acting? The voice work is good. It's really good. It's pretty good. Kristen Bell is good. Kristen Bell is good in it. Jonathan Groff was good. Adele Dazeem was really good. She has a really good voice. I thought the movie was well directed. It was decently directed. My main issue with this movie is the writing. Like, the writing is, it's not good. The movie's very plot holy, and the movie, the movie's kind of a mess, plot-wise. It's a lot more complicated, like they're introducing other elements, like and trying to explain Elsa's ice powers, and I don't think they really needed to be explained. And then there's those rock trolls that were stupid then and are stupid now. because one, they don't fit in the movie at all. They kind of just say like, you need to go to this enchanted forest. We're gone. Bye. Out of the movie. Like, I think that's like the only scene they're in. I mean, at least in the original, they kind of they had something to do with the plot. All right. Let's stop ranting. This is not an awful movie. This is not like Norm of the North bad. This is nowhere near as bad as that. I haven't seen that movie, but I guarantee you I'm never going to. What the heck is going on? All right, never mind. Yeah, this movie is kind of a bore. I'm going to be honest with you. I was bored for a long time, for a large portion of this movie. I don't know. Just the movie's plot was so predictable. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I was bored because I knew what was going to happen. I was just waiting for it to happen. And plus, the most entertaining character of the movie just pieces out, which was Kristoff, in my opinion. And plus, I was stuck with Olaf, who was easily my least favorite character in this movie because he was so, in my opinion, he was annoying. He also has my least favorite song in the movie. I forgot a lot of the songs in the movie, except for the Into the Unknown song and Kristoff's song, which I'll get to that one in a second. Yeah, that one was big at the Oscars, but not big enough. It lost to Rocket Man, which I haven't seen Rocket Man yet, but it's on my list. It's on my watch list. Don't worry, I will watch Rocket Man. It's probably better than this. But yeah, I found myself very bored with this movie. I mean, at first I was on board with the movie. I'm like, okay, the movie's starting off. It's a little slow at first, but it's starting. Maybe it'll pick up, and then the movie kind of picks up, and then it just dives down. Like it is not picking up. And unlike movies like Inside Out, Coco, Soul, I was hooked from beginning to end. I really liked those three movies. Well, I mean, I don't think Inside Out or Coco are going to be movies I would ever buy on Blu-ray, but Soul, maybe. Give that one a Blu-ray release criterion. You did it with Marriage Story and Irishman. I bought Irishman. But yeah, I don't really... I think this movie is just the pacing is what drags it down. Like, this movie I found incredibly dull and incredibly boring. I'm not saying that there was no effort put into it. There were clearly effort put on the screen because the animation's so good and so detailed, and all the voice acting is really good. But just, I feel like the script should have had a few more drafts, and it almost feels unnecessary. I don't think this movie should have been made. Like, other than money and merchandising, I don't think this movie needed to happen. I don't think anyone really wanted a Frozen 2. I mean, I'm sure I didn't. I mean, I thought Frozen 1 was good on its own, but even then, when I first watched it on my TV at my grandma's house, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I mean, I thought it was all right, but I didn't hate it. And then it just got itched in my brain, and it's basically my mind is tricking me into thinking I hate it, but I actually just think it's all right. Still, Ernest and Celestine was better. Okay. All right, let's talk about Kristoff's song, my favorite part of the movie. All right, I'm going to be honest. All right, I'm going to say something. One of my biggest guilty pleasure songs are, like, really cheesy 80s love ballads. I don't know why. They're so bad, but I love those kind of, I love that kind of music. Top Gun's love ballad takes the cake for the most cheesy, but also the best one ever. This one, Kristoff's song, is my favorite because it's exactly like that. They reference Bohemian Rhapsody. They even do the thing where, like, there's a giant face fading into the side. It almost looked straight out of, like, a music video from the 1980s. They even did the Bohemian Rhapsody head ring or something, whatever that is called. They did that, and the song was actually kind of catchy too. It's probably the only song I might actually go back and listen to because it reminds me of, like, cheesy 80s love ballads or just power ballads. Those are, like, my biggest guilty pleasure songs. Besides the Han Solo song from Star Wars Connect. That's my biggest guilty pleasure song. I don't care, sue me. That's my favorite song in the movie. It's also the only one I remembered besides Into the Unknown, which was all right. I won't listen to it again unless they play it on the radio, but I listen to my own music. I don't listen to the radio. very rarely I ever do because they never play any music I want to listen to. All right, I'm ranting about the radio. I need to stop doing that. I need to stay focused on the film. So, all right, let's do my final thoughts. So, my final thoughts on Frozen 2. Is it good? No. Is it okay? Yeah. Is it, awful? Definitely not. It's very disappointing. It's very mediocre at best. It's very bleh. Just, I don't see myself ever watching this. Like, ever again. I don't see myself ever watching this. I really, I really don't think this movie deserved to exist because the first one kind of already wrapped up, if you know what I mean. Like, the movie had a beginning, a middle, and an end. They really didn't set up a sequel. There was a whole, like, happily ever after, but then money happened, so now we have to do another one, just kind of shoehorn a plot. Yeah, this is definitely not the best sequel I've seen. This is definitely a sequelitis. It's definitely not the worst sequel, Disney sequel. There are so much worse. Fox Now 2, for example. Oh, man. Review for that one coming soon. Be prepared for that one, my friends. Be prepared, my henchmen. Be prepared. All right, that was cringe. I'm going to go jump off a bridge when this is done. Okay, so... All right, so in conclusion, Frozen 2 is a classic case of sequelitis. Sequels that are just bleh, not as good as the original. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm going to give Frozen 2 a C and is meh. So if you've seen Frozen 2, what did you think about it? You probably did. But what did you think about it? And if you like this review, give it a like. And I also know a Tom and Jerry trailer, second trailer came back today. I was going to review that. I watched it. It was just a clip from the movie, and I don't think it's worth it. All right, so I'll see you guys next time.